I've had some serious problems doing this model and it's been driving me crazy. It's nothing with the model, it's just with my camera. I've been recording all of this on my phone, uploading things to Dropbox and wherever else, and then files have magically been disappearing. I made a Captain Spaulding. I did not enjoy painting his trousers. It went wrong. Everything got deleted. So to make up for my ineptitude with files and digital things and everything, I went and treated myself. I now have a Panasonic Lumix G7 which records in 4K video. Say cheese. So I sincerely hope that this will be the turning point of video quality on my channel and things will start improving. I have been releasing videos very slowly recently. It's mostly due to real life commitments. I've been working a lot more. I don't have a lot of time for painting. I've been picking up World of Warcraft again, which is never a good thing, but I have since stopped playing again. So this will be the last time recording on my phone. Hopefully things will improve. We'll see how things go in the future. But for now, you're going to join me halfway through painting a Captain Spaulding model. I've already had the stress of prepping it, priming it, and putting down some base coats on it. I don't know how good the sound quality is going to be either, because this little microphone thing that I was using for my phone camera is terrible and keeps cutting out all the time. I cut the trousers in a dark Prussian blue. I then dry brushed with some mid blue for some mid-tones and then highlighted it with some pastel blue. However, I don't know how far into the video this starts. I haven't started editing yet. But I then had to just completely negate all my work and do an oil wash on it anyway. So let's get into the painting anyway and see where we're at. So at this point I've already painted Captain Spaulding's base. I did a really good job on that and I really enjoyed it. As I mentioned, I've also painted his pants in a dark blue, put some mid-tones in with flat blue, and then painted in some highlights with pastel blue. I painted in these spots, which was literally the worst job I've ever done on any model ever. And then I had to basically oil wash the whole thing just to cover up any mistakes. I also did not manage to capture any of the foot painting, but basically I just painted them all in deck tan and then put some flat red or pure red. Got a coat of Prussian blue down. It's going to be serving as the base coat of the shadows. Next is fairly heavy dry brush with some flat blue. And as I mentioned in the intro to this video, lots and lots of my clips have disappeared. I'm not sure where. So I've painted all of the red bits, painted all of the white bits, and a few little bits to tidy up, but otherwise I'm done. Now I just need to figure out how to paint a hot dog, which is a really weird thing to say. The hot dog, I've already got some pure red out, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of leather brown. For the hot dog bun, I'm going to play with ochre brown, beige, and some red. I have no idea what colours I've just invented there, but it kind of looks like a hot dog. I'm happy enough with that. So the next thing to do is tone it down to match the legs a little bit, which means an overall black wash. So I'm going to get this sealed, get it washed. Time for an oil wash, yay. So again, I just use my usual mix of 50-50 turpentine spirit or white spirit and black oil paint. I've gone a little bit thicker this time actually, because I want it to, well, just look thicker. I've had a lot of sanding to do underneath there because the keying was totally off. I'm hoping that I haven't damaged the model too much, but this oil wash should pick out all of the details quite nicely. I've already sealed this. Never put oil wash on without sealing. Make sure you're confident in your sealing as well, because when it comes to rubbing it off, it will bring off all the paint underneath. And again, this stuff is very messy, so make sure you've got plenty of protection down on your desk, plenty of wipes if needed, and stuff to clean up with. So we now have a nicely dried Captain Spaulding, oil wash all over the place. Now the fun part of taking it off. For this I need some makeup sponges and lots of blue roll. And I just need to hope that I've sealed it properly, otherwise I'm going to end up taking a lot of paint off as well. Look how satisfying this is though. I think that looks absolutely awesome. The oil wash has worked wonders again and is literally my favorite thing to do. It just brings out the details perfectly on everything. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is a bit of detail painting around here. So I need some gold stars on there. Obviously needs a skin tone on his hands, but I'll do that at the same time as the face. I'm just going to put some random food stains with some watered down paint of several different shades of colour onto the front of his shirt. Starting now with the beastly brown. I'm sure he's probably also been eating ketchup or bolognese or something, so I'm going to use I'll use a burnt red. I don't know how well you can see on camera, but he's now got some food stains, some sweat stains around his neck. Looks pretty grimy, pretty grubby. Just the way I wanted him to look. So next thing to do is the stars. Then I'm fairly sure, apart from the hands, that I'm finished with the torso piece. Now it's time to get some skin tone on these hands. I'm not going to go crazy with all of the usual washes. Now it's time for the skin tone. What I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to put down is a layer of basic skin tone. I'm going to have to be really careful about the sleeves. I'm not going to bother masking. I'm just going to be really careful. I'm not going to do anything special. I'm basically just going to do basic skin tone with some highlights and some shadows. Keep forgetting to do his magic wand. So it's basically just blue, white and red. I'm just going to quickly do that now and then give it a clear coat. What Captain Spaulding needs a magic wand for, I don't know. Where's he going to put this thing? I know better than not to ask questions. I still wasn't too happy with the complexion on his hands, so I brought it down a little bit with some army paint soft tone, and I think it's worked actually. So the next step will be to put some highlights in with some light flesh. I'm not sure I'm going to do the same on his head. I don't think I will, because he needs some white makeup anyway. I've finished his entire body as far as I can tell. Quite happy with how it looks so far. Had some keying issues on there, so I've had to fill it in with a bit of resin and dab some shadows in. I don't think it looks too bad. I'm quite happy with how it looks. So next, dun, dun, dun. And finally we're on to the head. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to cover up the vast majority of the skin tone with some deck tan with a dry brush. Now I want to try and keep a bit of the flesh tone coming through, especially around the neck where I don't suppose he'd be putting much face paint. and then we'll start on the detailing. I officially give up with my phone microphones. The USB things that I bought, they're just not working. So we'll have to make do with the sound just from my phone. I've finished off the hat, tidied it all up. I'm feeling quite ill actually, and my hands are shaking a lot, so I couldn't be too neat around the stars, so I'll just paint over them and shortly with some gold. Now I think what I'm going to do, I didn't want to do this on the head, but I think I'm going to put an oil wash on because it's a little bit too bright, the hat. I'm not going to leave it dry, I'm just going to let it soak into the cracks a little bit. I'm going to put some black into the centre of his eyes. What should I do? I'll do brown. Very dark brown. Now for his makeup, I'm going to use pastel blue. For his cheeks, I'm just going to use a pink mixed with a little bit of deck tan to lighten it up a little bit. No, I won't. I'm going to use vermilion mixed with deck tan to lighten it up a little bit. The end is very much in sight. This one has been a very hard slog. So I'm just going to do some salt and pepper and whatever it's called on his beard with some grey castle. And then it's time for varnishing and we're done. What did I learn from doing Captain Spaulding? I learned to be a lot more picky about certain models. These spots were horrendous. So if you're a 3D artist making models for 3D printing and ultimately for people painting, please try to avoid stuff like this. There may be easier ways for people to paint it, I don't know, but I certainly couldn't find one. This took me weeks because I just did not want to do it. The rest of the model I absolutely steamrolled through, but the spots on his trousers took me weeks. But I did enjoy the rest of the model. I think it's looking pretty awesome. I'd like to sort of class it as a little tribute to Sid Haig as well. So rest in pieces, my friend. I hope you're enjoying your eternal damnation. Until next time, YouTube, thanks for watching.